What's going on, Shady people? ShadyPenguinn here, welcoming you back for another week of the GBA, the Global Battle Association. I am here as your coach of the New York Yankees. Today, we're going up against the Toronto... Is it the Toronto? I'll never get names right. Toronto Maple Leafeons, coached by Cote. Now, if you guys can't hear, I am very, very congested. I do apologize. I'm going to try to hide it by sort of lowering my larynx, but I don't know how well that's going to work. So, if you guys are excited, let me know in the comment section below who you think is going to be the MVM, the most valuable Yankee on today's team. Now, we have a very similar team as to last week, and I will explain myself in a little bit. We have Sunspots, Trevenant, Cotton Ball, Hot Duck, Ice Baby, and Pretty Woman. So Mamoswine is the only new Pokemon, and the reason why I brought Mamoswine is because it has Freeze Dry, and this is a very interesting set. It's a Choice Scarf Stealth Rocketing set. My opponent does not have anything that can get rid of hazards on his team from what I see. I could be wrong, but I don't think he does. So I wanted to bring this thing. Cote, I don't know how to pronounce it, I apologize, is very widely known as having the premier rain team in the league. So I prepared for a rain team. I mean, Pretty Woman has Energy Ball, Hot Duck has Thunderbolt and HP Grass, Sunspots has Giga Drain, we have Lullaby, so we are prepared for a rain team, but I also needed to prepare for if he brought other stuff. So, for the most part, my team can handle everything else. Most of his Pokemon that he drafted do have a Grass Water weakness, but his Pokemon are extremely potent, extremely powerful. I'm gonna see how this goes. I'm kind of hoping he did bring the rain team, but something tells me he didn't. I hate the way I sound. If you're still watching this video after a minute, oh my goodness. Woo! Forgive me for that. All right, so we're gonna go in and see what my opponent has. I'm gonna take a picture of his team. I'm nervous. We're currently 1-0, and we see that he did actually bring the rain team. So I would say I'm a little relieved, but I kind of regret saying that I wanted him to bring the rain team. So it's oh wow, I have, what is this on my camera lens? What is this? It's like some medicine gunk. I don't know what this is. Oh me, oh my. All right, so hopefully, whoa, my camera just like stopped. Uh-oh. All right, delete. Yes. Okay. Can we go back to taking pictures before we run out of time? Can we go back to taking pictures before we run out of time? All right, that looks much better. All right, sweet. So let's take a picture. Let's take a picture, and we shall see. He's got Politoed, Swampert, Kingdra, Amoonguss, Manaphy, and Fortress. So Fortress is actually the only thing on his team that can get rid of hazards, so that's kind of unfortunate. The good news is that my Mamoswine is going to be able to be super effective ×4 on the Kingdra and the Swampert. So that's really, really awesome. It might one-shot, it'll definitely one-shot the Kingdra, I believe. Swampert, maybe not. Looking at this, I kind of want to open up with Lullaby. I think I'm going to open up with Lullaby. I did change some of these sets as well. Lullaby does not have the same set. Sunspots doesn't have the same set. Combo doesn't have the same set, and Pretty Woman doesn't. None of them do. And I actually have both Hot Duck and Pretty Woman holding the Lumberry because of the Godstar and Amoonguss wanted Spore thing. So that's kind of my plan, is let Pretty Woman get Spored, go for a Psychic, bop it, be done with it. I don't know how I feel about this opening. I kind of want to open with Pretty Woman instead, but I'm going to go ahead and open up with Lullaby and see how it works out. I don't think that was a correct opening. I doubt he'll open up with... He'll most likely open up Politoed, get his rain up as soon as possible, but if not, he might open up with the Fortress, which of course will be unfortunate. But Fortress, bad Mega is going to be the Swampert, so he actually opens up with the Swampert. So that's huge for me. I don't want to make any turn 1 predictions. And by that, I mean I don't want to go for like a Leech Seed, predicting to switch out. And I don't pack Will-O-Wisp on this thing. Two of my Pokemon, being the Tentacruel and the Trevenant, have Protect, and that's in case I have to stall out turns of rain, not to mention that my Tentacruel has Rain Dish. So I'm trying to take advantage of my opponent in that fashion. I'm not going to overpredict. I'm just going to go for the Horn Leech here. I'm really wishing that I did have the Will-O-Wisp here, because it would be a much safer play. Retrospect, definitely wish I was packing Will-O-Wisp instead of Leech Seed, but hindsight is 2020. Hindsight is definitely 2020. And my Lullaby is not, note, my Lullaby is not Harvest. This is a Natural Cure Lullaby. And the reason why I brought Natural Cure Lullaby is because I wanted to have leftovers because Protect. I couldn't really take advantage of using either Citrus or Lum with Protect and having one of my defensive Pokemon stall out rain turns, so I decided to go ahead and give it leftovers instead. I'm really glad that we're not seeing a Crocodile on his team. Obviously, he's not going to bring it on the rain team. Well, obviously, but he's not going to bring it. He brings out Bad Wall. So he's got Bad Mega, Bad Wall. All of his bad Pokemon coming through. Obviously, Horn Leech is going to do Diddly Bupkis. I could have predicted that. I could have. But I didn't. So I don't know what this Amoonguss wants to do to me. I'm gonna go for a Shadow Claw, and I'm gonna see how much his Sludge Bomb does. It's neutral. It's not neutral. It's neutral. So I'm gonna stay and go for a Shadow Claw. I want to see how much it does. Lullaby does have a bit of investment in attack. Just a teeny bit. I really do. I normally wouldn't record like this. I haven't recorded actually since I got sick. But GBA cannot wait. And it is currently Thursday night. I'm still sick. Hopefully by Sunday when you're watching this, I'm not sick anymore, because otherwise that's miserable. That is miserable. And Codes is one of, okay, we stayed in here, we went for a Shadow Claw, we're gonna see how much this does. It doesn't do much at all. He's gonna go for the Toxic. Now normally that would be a problem, but since we get to see Toxic, I don't think I'm gonna have to worry too much about Stun Spore. Which I could be wrong. I'm guessing he is Spore, Toxic. Not sure what else. I know that it would have been good to go out into my Sunspots, wouldn't it have? I think so. Alright, what can we do here? Honestly, my Gardevoir destroys his entire team, but not enough to like Oko stuff. I really would have liked to get the Stealth Rocks up. I really would like to get the Stealth Rocks up. I'm going to go out at the Pretty Woman here because I do have the Natural Cure, so I don't want to take any unnecessary damage. I'm just going to go ahead and get the heck out of here. I could have protected the Scout, what he's going to do. I'm hoping that he doesn't go for a double Toxic. I do get my Regenerator, which is nice because now if I take any damage, I can switch out. Oh my gosh, that's a Sludge Bomb, which was really foolish of me to switch into. And he stags the poison, which is going to pop my Lum. That was a terrible, 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 terrible turn of events. There was no reason for me to do that whatsoever. I would go for a Psychic normally, but I don't think it'll Oko. And like I said, my Pretty Woman can really deal a lot of damage to my opponent's team. I'm going to go ahead and back out of here, and I'm going to go out into my Sunspots. I'm actually wishing that I had Scouted with Protect. Oh my gosh. No Johns. No Johns about being sick. I'm not going to play that game. No Johns. But I really wish I had Scouted for Protect. With Protect. Man. Silly play. Silly, silly, silly play. I could have foddered off Trevenant and just said, hey, forget Trevenant. Foddered it off and probably been fine just going out at the Gardevoir and rucking shop on his team. But instead, I'm going to be going out into my Tentacruel. If he goes for a Spore, I'm done. I'm done. I mean, not that having Tentacruel seems the worst thing in the world. Goes for a Sludge Bomb. We're going to be able to eat that up easily. That's no problem. And now this is going to be quite the long match. Because my Sunspots can't actually do much to Bad Wall. Can't do much at all. I have Scald and I can Fish for a Burn. Which honestly is all I can do. So I'm going to go for Scald. There's nothing I can do to this thing. I'm not packing Ice Beam. I'm packing Rapid Spin. Because I figured Hazards were going to be a part of this match. And I'm packing Giga Drain because it's a rain team. Of course I'm going to pack Giga Drain. So we're going to try to Fish for a Scald just to get some residual damage off. Scald's obviously not going to do too much. We see he does go for the Spore and put me to sleep. Now, that is a bit of an issue. But I guess this isn't the worst thing to have put to sleep. My biggest question is he going to hard switch? Is he just going to switch out now to take advantage of the situation? He might go right out into the Swampert, which I could definitely see happening. But I can't very well switch out. I'm just going to go for a Scald. He is going to withdraw Bad Wall. I hope. Is he going for the Politoed? Goes into the Bad Trade, which is the Politoed. Alright, so now we're getting somewhere. By me getting somewhere, I mean I'm not. Well, I do have the Black Sludge and the Rain Dish, so I'm kind of free to stay in here with his rain setup. It's not that big of a deal. I can't see any one Pokemon that he goes into that would really be detrimental for me. I'm going to go... he might go out into the Fortress, but setting up Hazards right now is going to be bad. He's going to switch out into the Politoed. He just wanted to set up the Rain, and he's going to go out into Bad Uber, which is the Manaphy. Oh, no, Tail Glow. Oh, goodness. Can I wake up? I don't wake up. Oh, my goodness. This is going to be bad. This is definitely going to be bad. I should have hard switched out into anything at that point. I don't have much of an option. I got to stay in here with Sunspots. I really don't want to lose you, but I have to stay in here. It's going to go for the Tail Glow, and this is pretty much all it takes. This is pretty much all it takes. Sunspots wakes up, and I get a Giga Drain off. That's fun. That's fun. It's not going to do too much, unfortunately. and we're gonna see the leftovers kick in. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know what I'm gonna do in this situation. I really don't. In fact, let me bust out the damage calcs right now. He's got base 100 all around. Judging by that damage, I would say that he's definitely, well, I can't say definitely, but Manaphy, Tail Glow plus Rain Dance. They have Psychic. Oh. So is he going to kill me right now? Let's see if he kills me. I'm going to go for Giga Drain. I'm going to see if he's going to kill me right now, but I really don't think he will. Let's go for Gardevoir. No, let's go for Mamoswine. He does, in fact, go for... Is that another Tail Glow? That is another Tail Glow. That is a +6. That is a +6 Manaphy on the field. It's a bad Uber. It's a terrible, terrible Uber. I basically have to get Manaphy to the point where Freeze Dry will OHKO, which I don't know if is even possible. Now, the question is, do I sacrifice my Tentacruel or do I sacrifice something else? I would say we sacrifice Tentacruel. I would say let's sacrifice Tentacruel because it gets walled. It's going to go for the Surf, which is +6, so it's going to do a lot. It's going to leave me at 3, which is fun. Which is definitely fun. So we're going to bring this thing down pretty low. And I'm satisfied with that. I'm satisfied with Sunspots living that the way that it did. We do have Rain Dish. We do have Black Sludge. I'm not going to go for the Protect here. Although Rain has been around quite some time now. Politoed switched out, 2 Tail Glows, and a Surf. So that's 4 turns. So we have 3 turns left to stall out. Does he have the rest? It'd be really weird if he doesn't have the rest. Although for coverage, he wouldn't. Either way, I'm going to stick with my original plan. I'm going to go for the Giga Drain. He is going to go for the rest, the Hydration Rest, which of course is a fantastic combination. Pretty standard, pretty much what you have to do with his Manaphy. I'm still a little terrified of this little guy. Of course, Hydration is going to wake him up. We're going to get another Giga Drain off, so that's going to be more HP back for us. Sunspots is going to get back up into the green at the end of this turn, thanks to Black Sludge and Rain Dish. So that's fun to see. Rain Dish actually goes off before Hydration, which is interesting mechanics of the game, but we know that he outspeeds me. There's no question about that. Now, I don't think there's any chance... There's no harm in me going for a Protect here. There's no harm in me going for a Protect simply because he can't get any higher. He's already at +6. So we're going to see another Surf. I'm going to get some Rain Dish up. If I had my Vaporeon still, this wouldn't even be a problem. But I did lose that last season in between trades. Now this is interesting because I could go for the double Protect. I'm losing 2 Pokemon to this thing, unfortunately. There's no ways around it. Actually, if he's invested in speed, he could sweep almost my entire team. Yeah, he could sweep my entire team. Yeah, he could. Alright, let's go ahead and go for the double Protect. It's really our only chance. 30% chance, it's a Scald Burn. We don't snag the Scald Burn and he's going to get the Surf and take me out. Obviously, it's going to get taken out. I think this is the end of Rain, though. Which is interesting. Interesting, because if I was smart, I would have just switched out into Trevenant and let Trevenant go. Because without the Rain, Sunspots could eat up those Surfs, and I could have definitely stalled them out, so that was a huge, huge blunder on my part. I don't think that a Freeze Dry will kill from this range. Absolutely not. I don't think there's any possible chance of it killing. I think Freeze Dry is going to do around, like, I don't know, 50%. So we are in a terrible, terrible position. And I don't think there's anyone that can really help us out, because our Hot Duck is not Choice Scarfed. We basically would need a crit Freeze Dry or a Freeze Dry, which I don't know, can you freeze from Freeze Dry? It sounds like you could. It sounds like you could. It definitely sounds like you could. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Freeze Dry here. See what happens with it. possibly force a switch, but I seriously doubt it. I think he's just going to run calcs and see that Freeze Dry has no chance to kill. And losing my Mamoswine is going to lose me the game because Freeze Dry would go ahead and take care of... I know you can freeze from Freeze Dry, actually. It's not going to do enough to kill, and we're going to die from a Surf. So unfortunately, right there, I'm gonna be very disappointed. No, there's nothing you can do. I don't think there's anything you can do. There's no way. Hold on. There's no way that Manaphy doesn't get Ice Beam, right? Does Manaphy really not get Ice Beam? It does. Okay, I was gonna say there's no way it doesn't get Ice Beam. It has to get Ice Beam. Oh man, wow. It was this easy. It really was. There's nothing I could do. Nothing outspeeds on my team because it's base 100. That's it. That was literally it. All I had to do to try to survive was switch out my sunspots. Because if he has Ice Beam, you know what? If he has Ice Beam, he's going to go for it against Lullaby. So... I mean, if he has Psychic, he'll go for it against Lullaby too. It doesn't really matter. Either way, he's gonna go for something. I'm gonna go for the Horn Leech here. I don't think it matters. I think we're just gonna see an Ice Beam. We do see the Ice Beam, in fact, so there it goes. That's gonna obviously Oko Lullaby is at +6, and that's gonna. I'm really sorry. The GBA games are usually supposed to be super, super close and competitive, but I let him set up. And there's nothing you can do about that. Now, had I Choice Scarfed this thing as well, we would be okay. But he knows, because I didn't go right into it, that there's no chance I'm Choice Scarfed, so he's just going to go for the Surf. I thought for a second I was going to eat that. That HP dropped way too slow. Way too slow. And I'm going to go... Actually, no, because it's a GBA, I can't... I shouldn't just forfeit. So I'm going to go ahead and go out into my Altaria. And Altaria is not going to take an Ice Beam. There's no way. If Altaria took an Ice Beam, I would be so mad at myself. I will be so mad at myself if Altaria takes an Ice Beam. I should have gone into Altaria before I went into anything else. Before I went into Trevenant, I should say. But... there's no way you're going to take a +6 Ice Beam. I know it's not stab, but there's no way. Oh my gosh, for a second I thought you were going to... Alright, so that's unfortunately... Oh man, wow. I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect it to go this bad. Not at all. Not at all. But I completely screwed up by letting him set up. I should have brought something with Taunt to prepare for a Tailglow Manaphy, or all I really had to do was switch out that last turn of Rain instead of going for double Protect. I mean, had I gotten the Protect, the whole game would be different, but that's 30% chance. That's secondary, basically. But all I had to do was switch out and then bring my Tentacruel back in and let it do what it had to do to get rid of that Manaphy. But who knows? Probably would have happened again later on. So Coach just completely mollywopped me. I normally wouldn't even... I'm sorry. I just feel bad for you guys watching that I just got completely wrecked. And normally these are competitive battles, but... I don't think Coach and I play again this season at all. Unless I make it to the playoffs, which obviously at this rate doesn't really look like it. But that's gonna be the video. If you guys enjoyed, I don't expect you to have even enjoyed it. But if you want the Mankeys to come back next week and actually snag a win and not get completely demolished like that, go ahead and leave a like rating down below. That would be absolutely awesome. I probably should have just opened up with Altaria and set up. I don't know. Have yourselves a good day, but above all else, keep it shady. Leafeons swiftly dodges. What a nimble ribbon. What a nimble ribbon. But there's no reason to do that because he's got minus defense right now, and that would just be silliness.